You can travel to the heart of the EU from the station in Bucharest, but our journey is just a few meters. On the surface, the newest member of the club has worked hard to redefine itself. But there's another Romania underground.
Coming down.
This is the entrance to Bucharest's underworld. By late afternoon outside the station, they start to wake up, clambering up out of the ground, disorientated.
It's another gypsy, yes. It's another gypsy.
Among them a little boy, Nico. He agrees to send word down that we'd like to meet the boss. This world underground, we're told, has an overlord, and you only go down by invitation. A couple of hours later, and we're told he'll see us now.
Corey?
Yeah.
You okay?
What?
You okay?
Yeah.
On our hands and knees, we pothole into a parallel universe. It's the heat that hits you first. The camera lens steams up. Then the music kicks in.
Hey. Hey, how you doing?
Good one. You're running, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
If they had a club night in hell, it would feel like this. When your eyes adjust, you're in the first chamber. They call it the office. These are the lost ones. The children spewed out by the old communist orphanages have had kids of their own. When Ceausescu fell, there were nearly 50,000 of them in state institutions.
Mă cheamă Cătălina. La 11-12 ani. Da, dar m-au abandonat la spital. Aici m-am
viața, că nu mai am viața care o aveam, care trebuia să o am de copil. Trebuia să am o viață normală și eu. Și nu mai am o viață normală.
Almost everyone here is HIV positive. A quarter have TB. They're all making their way to the counter. The man on the other side is called Bruce Lee, after his street fighting days. He supplies the drugs. He calls the shots.
You want some coffee, guys?
Yeah, yes please. Yes please, that would be lovely.
Hey, Julia! Hai să faci curat pe tunel! Tată, bagă... Intră mai întâi? Da. O lingurică,
What does that mean?
Bruchele, regia al canalelor.
That says Bruce Lee, King of the Sewers.
Și aici, când eram eu copilul. Păi aici am crescut, în canalele astea.
I see.
Ai luat la pisici? Da. Am pisici de mai mici.
Pisici, da?
Le cumpăr numai pește, mănâncă peștele moarte. Dă-mă o siringă, mă, să scapi de el, l-ai pe cap.
Little cats.
On the cabinet where he keeps the drugs, a photo of the little boy we met outside, Nico.
E copilul meu ăla. Alea l-am înfiat eu de pe străzi.
It's not just coffee and cat food on the counter. For the equivalent of 50 pence, he sells bags of a metallic paint called Oralac. A synthetic drug similar to methadone is also on offer and injected. So I think Bruce Lee has asked us to go to see some of the other rooms, and they're actually cleaning the corridor ahead of our imminent arrival.
Give the bag, man.
Bruce Lee is warming to us. Time for the tour and further in.
What?
All good.
The tunnels were part of Ceausescu's grand design to centrally heat the city. Now, a sweltering drug den.
Wow. I've never seen anything like this, to be honest. There's this network of tunnels. And this is quite an honor, I gather. We've been invited into Bruce Lee's room. This is his bedroom.
O familie sunt, cum zice, treaba societății noi suntem, nu? Suntem ultimii oameni. Da? Eu am încercat să-i organizez, să fac o fundație, să facem o familie, să fim organizați, să reprezentăm o putere, să ne întreținem singuri, să le arătăm la oameni că se înșală. Că și noi suntem oameni.
There is bizarrely a twisted order to Bruce Lee's fiefdom. Social workers told us he tries to protect the young ones from sexual predators, and that addicts are less likely to die down here because he offers them a sort of safety and a warm place to sleep.
So we've just been told that we're being brought to another section of this strange community. It's called the hotel, and it's basically like a hostel underground.
We go through room after room. During the winter months, this place is full. This afternoon, just a few couples,
Uite, vezi ce pun acum?
lying on the artificial grass, holding on to each other.
Pentru că majoritatea, eu i-am crescut, de copii mici. Ai înțeles? I-am luat de pe străzi și i-am strâns pe toți într-un loc unde m-am ocupat de creșterea lor. Statul nu doare nimica, pe nimeni nu doare nimica inima, înțeles?
Bruce Lee talks a lot, but the unspoken lines of another story are carved out on his arms, self-harming from the orphanages and the prisons.
Mama m-a lăsat la 3 zile din spital, m-a luat statul, pe timpul Ceaușescu. Am crescut în orfelinate și când a căzut Ceaușescu, am căzut cum ar veni și eu.
He wants to talk about Nico again, the boy we met above ground. He's not from the old orphanages, he's the new generation.
Pe străzi, l-am întâlnit aici, pe stradă, mic, probleme, droguri alea, pac, i-am interzis să mai bage șiringa în el, să folosească numai orolacul, dar i-am interzis prea târziu.
He says we should meet the woman who looks after Nico with him. For that, though, he says we have to go upstairs and out of the tunnels.
Hey! Da? Ești afară, Bruce?
Oh God, fresh air.
And thus begins the last bizarre leg of the journey. Bruce Lee, his minder, and about 15 dogs tramping across Bucharest. Above ground, he seems nervous, the Orlac bag pumping hard. We're going to meet a woman called Raluca, a volunteer running a shelter for the people of the tunnels.
E doamna Raluca, mă? Doamna Raluca e aici?
Nu e aici.
Unde? Păi ea sună.
Hai că o să ne acum.
Hai.
As we wait, Nico arrives. It turns out little Nico is actually 17, his development stunted by the drugs and abuse. He has full-blown AIDS. Bruce Lee won't let him inject anymore, but the silver streaks of Oralac mark him out. We move inside to wait for Raluca. In the meantime, Nico talks about his time in hospital last year.
Cât am stat în spital, 2 luni și ceva, aproape 3 luni, el m-a căutat, i-a dat bani dânsa, doamna Raluca, care stau aici, de locuiesc. Căutat, vinea în fiecare zi la mine. Puteam să mor.
Da, ăsta era să mori. Dar mai era un pic de ce da?
Raluca eventually arrives. For her, Bruce Lee is a drug dealer with a heart, but he's still a drug dealer.
You disapprove of what he's doing?
No. Correct.
Dacă eu dezaprob, Bruce, ceea ce tu faci.
No. What do you make of this man?
So this man,
Yeah. What's he like?
you know, from me, I would like to kill him
Really?
or to punish him. But for the other people from the street, no. Because the other people, they depend on him.
This strange partnership has worked for at least one boy. These are, after all, the only 2 adults left in Nico's life.
We are the big family and the happiness. With many problems, but we are a family.
It's almost night. Time for a last dappled family portrait, full of darkness and light.